Welcome everybody to It Resolves episode 3.
Yeah, third one, man.
Hanging in there, we'll say,
I don't
so
know,
far.
Dude. I'm limping along.
All right.
I just pushed a box,
Yeah, let it be known, Will is the greatest human being alive.
that is as far from the truth. But
He just pushed a fairly giant box filled with garbage across the entire apartment complex that we both live at,
I figured
all the way to the trash can.
I thought I could carry it.
It didn't go well
No.
when he tried to carry it.
So I decided rather than carry it, I would push it, and that worked.
It worked. It got there.
My booty's cramping though.
All right, welcome everybody.
Now that you're warmed up,
Now that you're warmed up,
you know what kind of silliness is
this
going down.
is episode 3. We've got a lot coming at you this episode.
Nothing
a lot to talk
overwhelming.
about. Nothing overwhelming, but
We
we've
might
got a
get
lot of things to
overwhelmed.
touch on.
Yeah.
I think first things first, we do now have an official schedule.
Yeah, we worked on what we thought. We sat down. We thought, what could we accomplish, the two of us, with our busy lives and all that. And we have something fleshed out that I guess works. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think we're both comfortable with it.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to stick to it. If something changes in the future, we will definitely let everybody know.
Oh, by the way, I'm Will.
I'm Kevin. For those newcomers, which is everybody.
Yeah, just about. Except for the one guy on Twitch. You know who you are.
Our one friend on Twitch.
The hero.
And that being said, we should go ahead and do a little plug here. We do have Facebook pages set up. We do have Twitter and Twitch and everything like that set up. It's all in the description below.
The doobly-doo. Down below, you know where it is.
So go check it out. Please leave us a like, follow us, watch our videos.
Yeah.
We do this for fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're
Totally,
gonna do this for
totally.
fun,
We don't-
but we do appreciate any support.
We don't want to say that we are experts, but we love the game enough that we want to share. We want to get ideas out there. And we want to just kind of pick the community and
Absolutely,
You know,
and
pick
we want
everyone's brains.
we want the conversation to be open.
Totally.
Right? Like, we want to hear what you guys have to say.
totally.
If you guys have suggestions for topics, feel free to let us know. We will take that into consideration.
Or if you're still just salty about the copycat ban and you want to talk about that,
Which we did have a good discussion with our friend on
did.
Twitch.
We'll get there later.
we will.
But the schedule. So let's start the week Monday. That's going to be a deck tech day. Kevin and I want to pick decks that are either classics in our mind that both of us love, or that we just find that are really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we may do it where we if it's a really sort of intricate deck, I'm thinking we probably will only pick that one deck
I think
for
so.
that day. If we're talking about something a little more loose and things like that, we may each pick a favorite deck, or maybe pick a format where we have a favorite deck and say,
Or for
let's
a
do
length
this.
of time, like a period of time. in
Sure.
Magic. That might be fun. So then Thursday, we're calling it the kitchen table format day. For all you Commander and Pauper players, that might sound like an insult. Please don't take it as that. Those are my favorite formats, so don't don't hear that and get mad. But
It's more for like the casual
Yeah.
sort of play. It's more for the formats that, standard and modern get a lot of coverage and stuff like that. We're
Yeah.
talking about, fun formats that maybe don't get quite as much coverage that we'd like to talk about, because we enjoy all these formats.
we
so-
really do. I haven't played a format of Magic that I don't love.
That's true. I haven't either.
Well, all right, good
Yep.
stuff. Friday is the standard / limited show day. We want to obviously stay current, and these are going to be the most interesting, most highly talked about kind of subjects. So we wanted to break in there and see if we could talk about anything that other folks are, or something brand new.
Yeah.
You know? And then Sunday is just kind of filler day. Sunday is a day that if we think there's something interesting we want to talk about. Also, there are tournaments coming up this weekend, actually.
Yeah, Grand Prix Richmond comes to mind. I know there are 2 others.
Yeah, as of today, do they play today or tomorrow? This is the
I
first
think
round.
they start tomorrow, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure either. But we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but that might be something we talk about this Sunday.
Yeah, who knows?
It should be a lot of fun.
Like I said, filler. Just something that, we want to throw out there.
Absolutely. So that being said, that's the schedule. We will try and get this posted everywhere as soon as we can. So
Everywhere.
you're welcome to go check it out. Again, check out all the links in the description.
Yeah.
See what you like, and we'll see how we get going.
Hopefully that's us.
Hopefully so. We will be streaming on Twitch as regularly as possible. We
Yeah.
don't have a schedule for that set up If we get one, we will definitely let you guys know. But
Yes.
it's more just when we have the time, because we, as Will touched on, we are pretty busy, full-time jobs, all that. So if we get some time, we'll send out some notifications on Twitter. That's probably the best way, but also Facebook, everything else. So
Totally.
feel free to follow us.
Fantastic. Okay. Do you want to break into the fun stuff?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to start off today with another random card of the day. Our last one was a little underwhelming, but it was a funny one.
There was an evil presence.
There was. So we'll see what we get today. We've got it pulled up. Are we ready?
I am.
All right.
Do your worst.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Throne of Bone. All right. This goes back a long way, back to Alpha.
Is it Alpha? I think it's 7, too.
Limited edition Alpha.
That's
all
his
the way
first
down
printing.
there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Throne of Bone, it's 1 casting cost for an artifact. Whenever a player plays a black spell, you may pay 1, and if you do, you may gain a life.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Will?
My thoughts are don't play this.
Yeah, I don't think you ever play this.
I honestly, not even in like limited or no, just don't, please.
Just a bad card. Right?
You know, yeah. So the reason it's bad, in my opinion, just off the bat, you kind of have to bank on them already playing black. So if you bring a deck with Throne of Bone and you're playing you're playing against a green-blue ramp,
you're gonna hit a lot less. Like, you still hit on your stuff, but that's it.
It is a player. Okay, yeah.
But it still isn't.
No.
It's not good. I mean,
You're taking yourself off of a mana for a turn to gain 1
That's
life.
exactly it.
So,
and generally 1 point of life isn't going to get you anywhere. Life
I will
gain.
say, however,
Okay.
what if, like, just follow me for that.
Okay. No.
What about, this could be completely wrong and just conjecture, what about just a fun storm deck with a lot of tendrils?
I don't think so, because no, I don't think so. You take yourself off of the mana, and that's slow. That slows you down.
What if there was a way? I'm reaching. I want to find.
You're
some
reaching
value.
very hard.
What if there's a way?
Yeah.
To get unlimited mana
Well, there's plenty of ways to do that.
in Storm.
Will, this isn't playable.
I'm at the bottom of the barrel, guys.
No, this isn't happening. This is a really bad card.
No, there's no way.
There's
you
no
can play. I'm
viability.
sorry.
In a casual game, play with it, but
might-
there's no other reason to play this.
If anyone's ever seen this card, played this card, played against this card, please let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throne of Bone.
If you won because of this card, I would love to know.
I want to meet you.
That would be
and
amazing.
shake your hand.
You clearly need to be a pro at Magic if you are not already.
If you're a pro at Magic, you don't touch Throne of Bone. I'll just say that.
All right. So, yeah, not too thrilling as far as the random card of the day goes, but always a fun little
I tried. Okay,
little instance.
I tried.
So, all right, what's next for us, Will?
What is next? We're breaking right into the main topic, man.
Okay.
Right after
So,
our part of the day.
as per our schedule, this is the Friday episode, so we are going to go over some limited and some standard limited stuff.
Yes.
We have drafted a lot this
We
week.
have. The format, like our skill level, was limited. It took me a day to come up with that.
That was perfect. Basically, what we did is we got onto Magic Online.
Yeah.
We played some Amonkhet 3-pack draft. A lot of fun.
We played a
huge
few of them,
learning
too.
experience.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
This is the first set I've drafted in a while. It's not the first set period, but
Right.
it's been a while since I've opened packs for limited purposes.
Well, okay, so let's get this out of the way first and foremost. Initial thoughts. What do you think?
This is a super fun set to draft.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts. It is, there's stuff that's quick, there's stuff that gets big, there's combo pieces in the draft which you just feel really good.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of build around cards.
For sure.
There's the enchantment, the black enchantment, where you cycle and you get to drain for 2 every turn. Every time you cycle or discard, it's a great card. We made a deck out of that, a blue black cycling deck.
Yes.
I know I saw like 2 or 3 of those just while we were drafting.
Yeah.
We got to draft a mono red deck.
Yes.
which was awesome.
We won. Let's see.
We won 7 games.
Yes.
I think we lost 3.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And just to be clear, we're just doing the friendly, the bottom of the barrel drafting because we're new to this. So
until we take over.
So until that point, we'll stick with that. We'll move up into other drafts and stuff like that. But it basically, if anybody doesn't know, you can if you get to 7 wins before you get 4 losses, you win.
Yeah, you win
if you don't get there, then however many wins, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was the only deck so far. We're in the middle of another one actually right now.
That's true.
But that was the only one where we went 7 wins.
That's true.
And it was fun.
Oh, it was so cool.
It was so cool. To see mono red in limited is pretty awesome.
First need to draft that. You have to be a special kind of crazy to draft a mono color, I think.
I mean, we got some of the payoff cards, right? We got a bunch of them.
Really lucky drafting that.
We got the Electrify. We got the Twins. We got 2 of them. The Exert 4/4 and Pump Everything every time something exerts, which is just great.
Brawlers. Your good 4/3 Minotaur discard stuff.
We got 2 of them, I believe, which is just for 2 mana is just so good.
Sweet combo we found with those, which we might talk about in a second.
Yeah.
With the cartouche. The cartouches.
The cartouches have been holding their own, and I listened to, most of you probably know of this, Limited Resources. I listened to their set review of Amonkhet after it's been out for a bit, and they talked about the cartouches, and I think to nobody's surprise, the green cartouche is sort of at the top of the power level.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it basically, if you play it and you know you're going to find something, you're taking something off the board.
It's a removal spell, it's a pump spell, it's everything you want.
Great.
That being said, the way they had their list, the red cartouche was at the bottom of the barrel.
Interesting.
It was white and then red.
Really?
And I think that's a little interesting. I might put white at the bottom. After playing with the red cartouche, it seems great. You blank a blocker, you pump one of your guys. You can give it haste, and it's only 1 red.
I will say, I think a good point, to their credit, is, it gives them haste, which is fantastic, but for 1 turn.
Yeah.
Which is what I can see.
And that's fair.
Kind of being but if you get that late game, let's say the board's kind of reset, we've traded some stuff in combat, and then I pull a cartouche of Zeal. Yeah, of Zeal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I can drop my bomb. It's the late game. Give it haste.
And get in for a good turn. Yeah.
Now, of course, that's circumstantial, but I mean, I love it.
We got a lot of turn 3 plays where we were able to blank a blocker on their side and get in for 7 to 8 damage on turn 3.
Yeah, I think the most we got in for was 9 on turn 3 with 2 Blood Rage Brawlers.
So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It was a really great drafting experience, and we're still going to continue to draft it,
of course,
as we go along and hopefully get better.
Definitely.
But we do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great set to draft.
Yes, please try it. Go ahead.
So I would highly recommend it. And what we decided to do is sort of pick a few things that we each sort of noted along the way as we were drafting, right? We each wrote down a few things that we noticed while we were drafting, either about our decks or about our opponent's decks or just the games in general, and how things get passed and everything. So we have a few of these written down. Will, why don't you go into one of yours first?
Sure. So how we thought we'd do this, if we share one, we're going to just mention, hey, that is also one of mine.
Yeah.
And strike it off. So you might not get 10, but here we go. The first thing I mentioned, cycling is huge. It gives you great flexibility. There are so many cards in the set with cycling, and off the bat, cycling, you could write it off if you're kind of a newer player, but it opens up so much for you. So cycling, if you don't know, you get a card with its vanilla effect, whatever that might be. Take Cast Out, for instance, probably one of the strongest cards in the set.
Oh yeah, as far as white removals, it's great.
So it has cycling for 1 white, I think, or it might just be 2 colorless. I can't remember. But essentially, you take Cast Out. If you don't have something for it and you're in a pinch and you need to draw into something,
right, at
instant speed, you can throw that card in the graveyard and draw a new card.
Right.
You basically have to trade out. If you draw a bomb first hand, and I'm not going to get to this and I need to get ahead, cycle, you could hit your things.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think my first point actually goes hand in hand with this. It isn't the exact same, but I will mention it because they do go hand in hand, and that's variance is generally reduced in this set. generally, because you're able to sort of cycle and draw into your bombs or draw into your big slam effects, you're gonna hit it most of the time, right? Like I'm not saying every time, it is limited. There's variance there, but because of the cyclers, you're sort of able to get through your deck as you need to.
Yep.
And so I think, generally speaking, if you want your deck to work and if you've got the cards to make it work, you can get there.
Totally.
You can cycle through, you can get there. And so I think that goes hand in hand. I think cycling, as you mentioned, it's for the older players, it's not a new ability, right?
True.
Like it's been around before, and it's a great ability. It was great at the time. I think now more than ever, it's one of the better abilities.
I mean, yeah. It's I don't want to say brand new, of course,
No.
but like it's fleshed out. It's
Yeah, I think so.
hit the main stage again.
I do think, and this sort of goes into one of mine. There are free wins everywhere, and what I mean by that is when you do cycle cards, a lot of these cycling cards, I think it's fair to say, do sort of what you want on a sideboard card. So, for instance, there's a card that exiles target artifact or enchantment.
Yes.
That also cycles for 2, which is a great card as a sideboard card, but because you can cycle it, you get the opportunity, if you want to mainboard it. And maybe it's only 1, maybe you don't actually run any, but generally speaking, you can if you want to. And what that allows you to do is, if you're up against a match where the bomb in the other person's deck is an artifact or an enchantment, which a lot of the bombs are enchantment based, you're able to just blow them out, right? Like if that's their win con, you can keep that in your main board.
Sure.
And use it mostly as a cycler, but on the off chance that somebody has that, you get to blow it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that you do have to constantly worry about, are the free wins, because there are a lot of them. I know for us in our mono red deck, we had fling. We had 3 flings in that deck. It was awesome, right? Like Will just marked off one of his. So
I just circled one of my things.
It's amazing, right? Because I know you get into stally games sometimes, and to just be able to fling something and say, here, take 4, take 5, you just win.
My point, word for word, is stalled games are won from fling.
Yes. And it's not, it should be stated, it's not just fling. There are other things that take that spot, but fling just happened to be the one we ended up getting the most experience with, I would say.
And had the most fun with. That was a really
it was
cool.
so great.
Yes.
It felt so good to be able to just say, I'm just going to fling and kill you.
Yeah. We would swing in, we would not have lethal, just an attack power like coming in.
Right.
Get him down to say 3.
Yeah.
Or something. And just throw a Minotaur.
And then just throw anything, and we got it.
The kitchen sink, just chuck it, pick it up, and fling it.
It was awesome. It was so it's a format, and to be the guy that's playing fling is great, and to be the guy that's playing that free win card, of which there are many, is a great thing. But it is a little frustrating. I'm just gonna go ahead and warn everybody. It's very frustrating when that free win comes about and you're on the losing end.
Oh yeah, I mean, limited being such like an unpredictable format, because you don't know what everyone else is picking up. You see a lot of the packs, but you'll never see all of it, right? So you never know like what someone else is drafting. You can speculate based on what you get past, but you're never really sure. Someone might have pulled Oketra, and we did.
Which we did in one game, in one league, which I believe is the one we're in the middle of right now.
You're right.
Which is also just you win. Most of the gods, you just kind of win.
Yeah. I'll actually go into that now. If you pull the god, don't ever pick anything else. Just pick the god. That's it. I'll say that's really simplified, but we were fortunate enough to already be drafting into white when we pulled Oketra. We were white, blue, red-ish at that point, and then Oketra
we were considering red, but we were definitely white. We had a good bit of blue. We pulled Oketra, and we're like, okay, well now we're clearly just it reiterates that we're gonna be in white.
Yep.
And we had so much blue at that point that I think we just went for it. But
I think to me, Oketra and the Black God, whose name I'm not remembering.
I can't remember.
I was gonna say Set, but that is actual Egyptian stuff, not magic. But Oketra to me is one of the easiest to turn on.
Well, it turns on itself, right?
Really,
if you have the mana open, which you will because it's a 4-drop and it's ability cost.
Yeah, that's
4.
another thing. It is a 4-drop.
Yeah.
The gods
3/6 double strike indestructible. I mean,
that's insane.
Yeah.
That is so good. They
It's
do, of
very
course, get casted out.
sure. There is removal for them, but
Yeah,
it's fairly in limited. It's not always there, right?
Yeah.
Like not everybody's going to be able to pull cast out. Not
Right,
everybody's
right.
going to be playing it. Not even playing white. So it's a card that generally is going to stick around, and it will do work. It will win the game.
You jump up in advantage just
Yeah.
so much as soon as the god hits the board.
Absolutely.
Even if they can't attack or block, like you've got a mana ability on each one that will swing games in your favor.
Yeah.
Catchers is you make guys.
Yeah.
You make chump blockers.
Yep.
Cool. You
I
can't
mean,
go wrong with that.
that's great,
Yeah.
right? Like, or you get a couple extra points of damage from them because they're just great. Like, all the gods are fantastic,
Yes.
but a catcher happens to be the one we've gotten to play with so far.
If you get past one, just pat the guy next to you on the shoulder and
Yeah,
give
just
him
say
a look.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win now, so good luck.
Probably. May you
and-
pilot well.
I do think, pulling those bombs and those really good cards sort of goes into my next point, which generally the matchups are really grindy. And so you kind of want those big, just the cards that matter are really, they really impact the board. But generally your matches are going to be super grindy, right? Like
Definitely.
it's creature based, it's limited, which is always normal, but
Right.
it's so grindy. I mean, we went so many turns against I believe it was a blue-green deck where nothing happened. We just played stuff.
We just filled up our boards and looked at their like Naga mana dorks. And,
Yeah.
And exerted guys that we would block and no one would die. And
Yeah.
we just kind of waited.
It was
That
just
was
a
it.
stall. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to happen every game. Not every deck is based off of creatures. There is the blue-black cycling deck and things like that.
That is
but
very strong. So if you,
it is very strong. Yeah, absolutely. Be on the lookout for that. But generally, it's going to be a grindy match.
Isn't that the game that came down to we won in 2 seconds? With
I
2
believe
seconds
so.
remaining?
There was no. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. We faced another Aketra in that game.
That's right. Yes.
So they played an Aketra. We
Yes.
cast out the Aketra.
Yes, we did.
I believe, which he was not too happy about. We then stated in the chat that there could only be one and played our Aketra on the following turn. And it literally got down to 2 seconds left on the clock. We swung in with everything and it was lethal. He also timed out at the exact same time. It was an intense match.
And it was really fun. That was exciting.
It was a good match,
Yeah.
and he was a good sport about it.
Totally.
We chatted afterwards. He was a nice guy, but it was a fun match, man.
Totally.
That was a good one. So, but yeah, expect grindy games is
Yes,
the takeaway
yes.
that I would say.
Yes, you can
And
plan
prepare for
those.
them.
Exactly. Yeah, there are cards that you get, things like Floodwaters that bounce guys.
Mm-hmm.
Things like Gale Force.
Gale Force bounces a tapped creature. You also get to draw a card. Stuff like Lay Claim, which lets you steal something, which can maybe get you in for a good
Lay
attack.
Claim is fantastic. Oh, the gods will also they can get claimed.
They can.
Yeah, they're not
absolutely.
Of course. Yep.
So just prepare.
Yeah.
Is the best I can say.
Yeah. All right, I'll jump into my next one. Is don't ignore your guys. When you're drafting and you're not super sure what direction to go, it's never a bad idea just to pick up that 3/2 body or that 4/2 body with Menace, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a black card that's 4/2 that gets indestructible if you cycle something or discard a card in general. Yeah,
it's such a good.
Really never going to be bad because there's so much with cycle. I would bet money that you probably drafted something with cycle on it.
Yeah.
Which can make this good value. 2 toughness is something that can be easily thrown away.
Yeah.
But like if you're looking at a bad pack, but there's a guy in your color, and this might go without saying for some of you experienced guys, but don't feel bad about drafting like the hooded Naga, or hooded Brawler, anything like that.
I mean, there's a lot of middle of the road creatures in this set. I would say there's your big bombs, there's your really not so good creatures, and then there's sort of where the majority of them lie, which is normal. The middle of the road stuff, which the middle of the road for this set though seems a bit above the standard power level
all
for
the
me.
creatures are pretty tough.
They're good. You'll see a lot of the same creatures every time when you do
course.
draft, and that's normal because you have to have good value stuff. But there is a lot of stuff that you think of as filler, but it's really not bad. And I definitely say take what you feel you can play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you feel like there's a possibility that you're going to play a card, take it first before you hate pick, before you do anything like that. Because there's a very real chance that it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah,
I would say.
that's very true. Very true.
So going into another one of mine, this sort of goes hand in hand. The generally grindy matchups tend to also be very aggressive. It seems to be a fairly aggressive format where it is a lot of just let's attack every turn. Who's going to get the damage in first? And again, I'm not saying everything, but there are a few decks where there's sort of a few very, very good aggro decks that are just very quick. The mono red deck seemed to be great for us. It was mono red exert is really what it amounted to, and
Don't
it was
want to say
great.
that'll work every time.
No,
but
it worked for us. Exert is a very aggressive mechanic.
And it works very well.
It works very well. It's great. I mean, you do have to time it right. I would say with the exert stuff, if you don't have to exert,
don't.
You're
going to be
because
tapped down an extra turn.
Yeah, exactly. So get in when you can and when you need to. But
it's best mid to late game, I'd say.
I would say so.
It can get you ahead, but it'll really push you there mid to late game.
Absolutely. But overall, it's pretty aggressive. There's the aggro decks. There's one or two mid-range decks. The green-black deck seems to be fairly mid-range, and it's good. But I think on the top end, there's like blue-green ramp and things like that with the Naga Vitalis. A lot of the ramp cards go into there. And, you know, there's the full spectrum of decks, but they all seem to be very aggressive in some way.
Yes.
It's all swinging in, let's get the damage in, except for a couple. There's a few exceptions. So
like the cycle guys.
Like the cycle deck. And I think that's important to note because you have to think about it when you are drafting in terms of, okay, I'm going to be fighting, right? Like
for sure.
9 times out of 10, unless I'm in a specific deck, I'm going to be fighting. So I need to prepare for that fight as best I can.
I mean, that is kind of classic limited, but it is heightened in Amonkhet because everything is so strong. If you don't, if you just draft some 1-drops, some 2-drops just to have a curve and then play some cool enchantments and stuff, you're going to be dead pretty quick.
Yeah.
Creatures in this set in particular get big fast.
They do.
I've noticed.
They very much do. Especially with cards like the cartouches, which are just so good. They boost everything. I mean, it really is a swing in set, I would say.
Definitely. So with the cartouches, speaking of my final point.
Okay.
The cartouches. These are some great cartouches, and there's some speculation based on their rankings as to where they are.
Sure.
You know.
Are we about to try and rank these?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Probably bottom of the barrel for me is the white cartouche.
I would agree.
I don't love it. It gives you first strike in a guy.
First strike in a 1/1. It also buffs a creature, which isn't bad, right? Like that's great. It's all. Let it be known when we do rank these, all of them are good. Okay.
Yes.
There are places where you would play all of these.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
If you're in the colors and a cartouche comes to you, I think it should be a strong consideration.
Absolutely, without a doubt, it should be. They're all very good. But
definitely.
Just to start off, I would agree. I think the white is probably at the bottom for me.
Yeah.
I think the red is the second worst.
That is your opinion, and I will give it to you. That is fine.
Okay, what's yours?
I see. It's tough. Again, because they're all great. We've played with the red one the most.
We have.
And it always feels good.
Absolutely.
You know, it might have to be.
I do think it's the red.
It might have to be. That feels so bad. It lets you do a really cool combat move, get in there, give a guy haste, and +1/+1, and it works awesome with the prowess guys.
The problem with it that I've seen
is haste.
It's haste. It's just not relevant after you play it. The turn after you play it, the only thing you have is a buff. And that's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's 1 cost, so it's not bad. It's just it doesn't really have much relevancy after that turn you play it.
All right.
So, I would even argue even the white cartouche has more value after the turn you play it. It has more
longevity, but I don't think it has more strength.
I think the red cartouche in the right deck does its work probably better than the white.
I think so.
I
love the red one.
All right, third.
Third, so I'm kind of at a loss here. I'm gonna go with the black one, and I might be beating myself over the head later about this, but the black one being the most expensive cartouche, or no, it's tied with the green. I think they're both 3.
I believe so.
But the green's great.
Yeah.
So the black one, you get lifelink. I forget it's entered the battlefield ability.
I believe you get to kill something or do some like -1/-1 counters, but I could be incorrect on that. We have not played with it.
No, we haven't. I've seen it once or twice.
I would say, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna say my third is probably the blue.
Okay.
I really like the blue, but every time I play it, it doesn't seem to do what I really want it to do, right? Like it seems great. You get to replace it, you draw a card, you also give something flying, so great evasion and a buff.
Yeah, so the black cartouche is put a -1/-1 counter on target creature when it enters the battlefield.
Sure.
For 3. So it shrinks a guy, makes your guy bigger, and gives him lifelink, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like the blue one better.
Okay.
Because it replaces itself. It replaces itself and gives a guy evasion, which is huge. You give it to River Serpent.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got a flying 6/6.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is the biggest bodied flyer you can make.
Yeah, probably.
There's no vanilla flyer bigger than 6.
No.
In Amonkhet. So you throw flying on something, and flying is exceptional. Lifelink is huge in limited.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be. The Anointer Priest was everywhere.
The Anointer Priest is a fantastic
which is a great 2-drop. I undervalued it originally. But in the sort of token strategy decks, it's great. Yes. It does a lot of work. I know we drafted one sort of later in our drafts.
It works great with Embalm.
It worked very well. Yeah, absolutely. With a Ketra, it's great. Yeah. It gives you some longevity, which isn't always there without it.
Kevin, are we saying the green one is the best one?
I mean, yeah. There's really so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you disagree, please let us know. But I do think it's pretty clear the green one is gonna kill something every time.
Yeah. If you're playing it, you know that I'm gonna fight this.
Yeah.
And unless he's got Become Immense or something stupid.
Become Immense in an Amonkhet draft.
You heard me. I know what I said.
Well, that actually goes into my last point, though.
Oh, please.
Combat tricks. They are everywhere.
Whoop, whoop.
So the thing about combat tricks in this set is you always have to be on the lookout for those, because there are some that just win.
Yeah.
It goes sort of with our fling, argument that you can just win out of nowhere with cards like fling, but
true.
You have to worry about a combat trick, especially in blue-green or something like that, where green gets a lot of good ones. You really have to worry about it on the backswing, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
So just keep that in mind. That's all I can say about it, because it's just such an important thing in this set specifically that you do keep in mind. There will always be combat tricks somewhere. They're going to be there.
They are. There are some worse ones that people don't and shouldn't play.
Sure.
There's the black one that gives your guy +2/+0 and lets him come back from the dead.
Yeah, it's not great.
It sounds good.
I saw it played against us once or twice. It just didn't seem like it got there.
No, it doesn't give you advantage after that.
No.
I think.
No.
I think the red one, Brute Strength.
Brute Strength isn't bad.
It gives Trample. Trample's big.
And that's big, especially in a game in a red-green deck or even just a red aggro.
Yeah.
The Trample makes a difference.
Right.
And it also, if they block with a big guy, you will be able to kill it because you're getting +3, right?
I mean, but these are kind of staples.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
you've got your combat tricks, you've got your 4 mana deals 4 damage burn spell.
Sure.
You got your limited staples.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combat tricks are nasty. They'll sneak up on you.
Just be wary, I would say.
Bonus point. Don't play Slitherblade.
Yeah. Avoid Slitherblade. I would also.
People love it.
I don't get that.
And which is weird. I love 1 mana, 1 whatever unblockable guys. I love them.
But not in limited.
No.
They just don't do anything.
Which is weird because that'd be their best.
Well, yeah, maybe. But
I just know I played Tormented Soul in one of the first decks I ever built. And
I'm sorry.
That's my win con, dude.
Yeah. I will also say
we'll do a deck tech, Kevin.
That's fine. That's fine. That can be our deck tech Monday. But I would also say Sacred Cat. we may disagree on this.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's really bad.
We never drafted it for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not
so
100%
when I first saw it, I was like, it's filler, not terrible, whatever.
No,
it's really just bad.
Yeah.
Like, there is an argument to be made for a token zombie deck because you can embalm it and get some life gain. I get
that's
that.
fair.
But
with Anointer Priest, with anytime a zombie enters
Sure.
the battlefield.
But no, just no.
Well, I mean, it's think about it like NFL draft. It's a late round pick, right? No, but
Like,
really,
if it's
like
all
your-
that's left in
it's
the
your
pack
13th
and you
card in
need
the
that
pack.
that
It's the-
23rd, 24th card, go
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
I mean, honestly though,
Yeah.
it's not something you're gonna draft over
Anything else?
Gale Force, really.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, no,
Gale
I
Force
would agree.
cycles and
it's it's just something to keep in mind. I know there's some speculation as to whether it would be good or not.
Really?
There was originally when the set came out or when it was first spoiled. I felt like there was some skepticism as to whether it was good or whether it was not, and I just don't think it is.
I don't think it does enough for you.
No,
I mean,
it just
but
doesn't.
We are talking about a one drop here.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You know what the best
framing
one drop
it
is, though.
clearly.
You know what the best one drop is.
Tell me what the best one drop is.
You know what it is.
Do I?
I want you to say.
I don't know if I know it.
What's the one drop I kept insisting would go in our deck?
I don't remember.
So, listeners, there is a one drop in Amonkhet that you can tap
Oh.
and gives a guy haste. So Kevin's laughing, but he may not remember the first.
No, I remember
first
now.
draft we did.
We lost to
because
it.
of this little jerk. He kept playing big guys, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, we've got a turn to answer that." No, we don't. Here comes a 6/4.
I underrated it. I still don't think it's great, but it's good.
It's worse the later the game goes, but turn one, you just let it sit there
Yeah.
as a foreshadowing of what's to come.
I will also say another one drop that I underrated. I say underrated. I will also amend that and say not by much. Fan Bearer
I love Fan
is
Bearer.
amazing. So tappers are notoriously great in limited
Draft
formats.
Fan Bearer.
But it does a lot of work, especially in the zombies deck where you can get some extra tribal value out of it. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
We were able to tap down so many good things. We were able to get in some really good attacks. Yeah. It's great. I mean, it's a little overcosted for the tappers. Usually it's like 1 white mana tap something.
I'll say I think
it's good.
Wizards kind of realized that that was going to be good.
Yeah.
Made it cost 2 mana and tap it, which I think is perfect.
I think it's fine.
It is very strong.
Yeah.
It is a 1/2. Is that right?
I believe it is a 1/2,
So
and then you can tap to tap it to tap another creature.
Right. But I mean, that blanks a big guy.
Yeah.
Every single turn.
Absolutely. And it did some work for us. I think we might have gotten a win out of it.
Totally. Yeah.
When
I mean,
we
that'll
drafted
always
it.
just keep you up tempo. Really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Main topic over.
Feel good?
I think so. You feel pretty good?
I feel good.
I think we're going to go into our last little segment here.
Yeah, we've done it before. We'll do it again.
It's the Crack-a-Pack with
Okay.
a twist.
With a
We
twist.
each have a goal card that we're going
With a
for.
twist.
Will, what is your goal card?
My goal card is Neheb. It's the Unworthy. It's the Minotaur 2/2 that lets you discard cards, deal damage, and give everyone first strike.
Which is a very cool card.
For
A very
3.
cool tribal Minotaur.
I'm going to build Minotaur Tribal, and it's going to win.
gonna be great.
It's going to win some things, not
I
some things.
am going I'm going for an Aven Mind Sensor. I got my first, as foretold was my first gold card. I was able to get that week. Literally the episode we started,
Yes,
I got
our
it.
very
So
first one.
let's hope one of us gets it first. Will, do you want to go first?
Kevin, I've gone first each time. Why don't you go
Okay,
first this
I'll go
time?
first. All right.
We have, for the record, we have seen each other's rares.
We have. So my rare is sadly not Aven Mind Sensor.
However, read this
It
card.
is Anointed Procession.
I think it's great.
It's 3 and a white for an enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many tokens instead, which is awesome. The closest doubling season,
Yep.
parallel lives, that sort of a thing. It's
In standard.
in white, and that's pretty cool. So I really like this card. I'm stoked to get it.
So, think about the implications. In ball.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. In this set, in standard, if you do play this, and I don't know if it's going to be constructed playable or not, but it could be.
You have to.
You
I
build
think this
around.
has to be high into your priority list
Sure.
if you want to put it into your deck, because it's for 4. Is that right?
4, correct?
Yeah, which is pretty strong
Yeah.
in standard. Or, sorry, pretty expensive, rather, in standard.
But it is a very cool card. I like it. I'm stoked to get that.
Yeah, it's fun. I think you could play it probably outside of standard, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's some implications.
There's
and
certain decks.
Commander, for sure, it's going to be in
Oh,
Commander.
God,
There's no doubt about that.
God. Yes, Commander's going to see this.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Grandma. Now that she's gone, we're going to flip through here. I like looking at the entire pack because I am a Magic nerd. The art is beautiful. And
Yes.
I have Hollow Swamp, Irrigated Farmland. It's the white-blue. Enters the battlefield tapped, and I can cycle it. Is it exciting? No.
I like the new lands.
Is it
They're
good?
not great, but
That's a dual land, you know?
it's a dual land.
you can't
It's
do dual land.
fetchable, but
I mean,
the downside, obviously, it's always going to play in. It's always going to come into play. Excuse me, tapped, and that's
True.
a little bit of a downside. But
Which
it's a
is
pretty
fine.
cool card.
yes.
And cycling is always kind of cool on a
Sacred
land. So
Excavation, I'm happy about. Exemplar of Strength, I'm happy about.
I also pulled a cast out, which is great.
Hey, yes.
What
Strong, uncommon.
else? Electrify seems pretty good. The red cartouche, your favorite.
Might as well throw it away.
So I think that's it for this week. Again, keep in mind there is a schedule now. So stay tuned. This will be going up Friday, so the next one will be Sunday. And check us out in the description below for everything: Twitch, Facebook. We even have an Instagram.
We do. Nothing's on there yet. When we go to some tournaments, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll do some fun stuff, but
We'll see.
take some funny pictures and post them up there.
Who
But
knows?
we appreciate you listening to us ramble for however long this ends up being.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it.
Sincerely. You didn't have to be here on your Friday.
No, you
Or
didn't.
whenever
You decide
But
to
I
watch
like
this.
that you're here with us.
But we
Talking
do
about some
appreciate
magic.
it. Again, this is going to just be a fun thing for us. We now have some schedules, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, we love it.
We're looking forward to it. So,
Appreciate it, guys.
with that being said, thank you. This has been It Resolves with Kevin and Will.
I'm Will.
I'm Kevin.